Good evening and a very warm welcome to the Grassroots Weekender show. I'm Mal Lee, your host for this evening, and you can see we've got Paul Rudkin, co-presenter, who's taking part in the show with us tonight. And tonight's show is something about, Paul wanted to ask me, he wanted to do this show because he thought it's very, very important that we get together on this one and let our listeners and our watchers know all about REFspect. Paul, you've been with me for a number of years, and the campaign Don't Cross the Line, absolutely fantastic. We started the campaign in 2003, bringing people together. We're still bringing people together, going into our 18th year. We started the campaign at Anfield Junior Football League, going back in 2003, and that's where I witnessed, you were a referee at the time, I witnessed a lot of poor behaviour, and it wasn't taken a grip up by the football's governing bodies. It took the likes of ourselves, Don't Cross the Line, to start a campaign to make sure that we had good behaviour on the touchline. Zero tolerance towards verbal abuse, aggressive behaviour, racist comments and bullying. We wrote poems to coincide with that. We've met Liverpool's, your Everton's, we've got your football's governing bodies on board who love the idea of Don't Cross the Line. So a few years down the line, obviously the work that we've done, we've been recognised, it's been hard work. We've been established, as I say, since 2003, and we can't emphasise enough that we've brought communities together, and we still do that. We still bring communities together. And there's questions that you wanted to put to me. You just decided, excuse me, is to put something together, compile a list of questions for yourself, to let, as I say, our listeners and our viewers know all about it. So, fire away, Paul. I think it's going to turn over that you are going to interview me. But welcome to the show first.
Thank you very much, Mal. Thank you. Yeah, I'd say basically it was, what I wanted to get out of it was, why did you do it? Why did you, for this, at the end of, I think it was the end of a Sunday night, Sunday afternoon maybe, Sunday morning, you went home and you've obviously sat down at home with your other half, and you've...
The wife.
Yeah, well, the wife, yeah. But, so looking back then to 2003...
Shirley, by the way, because she'll be watching this and
killing sorry, Shirley. Yeah. But when you look at it, 2003, did you honestly think, hand on heart, that you would be still doing this campaign now, 18 years down the line?
Great question, Paul. Great question. I didn't know. I think I put, when I wrote the campaign, you're right as well, you've really done your own work, because on a Sunday afternoon it was, after the game, after a mayhem in a junior football league, as we say, in the Anfield Junior Football League, where under 14s were attacking each other, fighting each other, parents, kids, chasing the referee. It was just mayhem, and that was the day that I decided to do the campaign, and it was back in 2003, as we say. It was the end of 2003. But you're asking me, did I think it'd go this long? When I started it, I wrote it all, it was in 48 hours, we were in with Liverpool, we were in with Everton, they were on board before we knew it, everything was into print. No, I didn't. I thought we'd just put something on this to go 5 years. But as I say, 18 years down the line, we're still carrying on doing it. Could be another 18 years, hopefully it's another 18 years, because we get gratitude out of this, satisfaction, and it really is good. We're a not-for-profit organisation, voluntary organisation, which means that we're run by volunteers. We've never had a penny out of this, except we've gone cap in hand, and we've had a few lottery grants on the way. It's helped us, enabled us to set up the podcast studio that you're sitting in now. It's helped us to get all the equipment. It's helped us to go out and about on the touchlines throughout football leagues, not just in Merseyside, but throughout the country. And to be honest, as I say, it gives you more satisfaction to know that you're helping the people in grassroots football, and you're portraying a message to the mums, the dads, the parents, the grandparents, the mums, the sisters, the aunties, the uncles, whoever it may be, a message there to save those kids on a touchline, because it's all about refereeing good behaviour. As I said, when we witnessed that mayhem, it was the referees, the target, and we've said this before, they are the targets. Young referees now, in those days it was just experienced referees, now we've brought in up to under 14 years of age, well not up to, after 14 years of age, 14 and upwards, which is unbelievable because we've got some cracking young referees out there, so it makes our job more important. And obviously with Don't Cross the Line, I think you wanted to find out more about Don't Cross the Line and REFspect. REFspect has come into it now. It's a sister company.
Right, okay, yeah.
That's what you wanted to hear about it. And you're more interested in REFspect. And you, lo and behold, have got the t-shirt on. Fantastic. These are the Premier League, Premier Games match officials where during the warm-ups each year, obviously it wasn't last year, but they support grassroots football referees. They support Don't Cross the Line, the REFspect campaign. So fire away with your questions as well, Paul, please.
Well, it's going, okay, obviously the Don't Cross the Line was the main brainchild of this.
Still is.
And still is. So now because we've become a CIC,
Community Interest Company, and it's next best thing to a charity. I think that's what our view is.
I'd say we're doing it on a voluntary basis. So when Rain Hail Snow, we're either myself or you or our team are actually out on the touchlines, you know,
gathering information.
talking to the referees, talking to the managers, the coaches, things like that, and bringing the feedback back into us, so that we can then go down another line and say, okay, we need to do this, we need to do that. But as far as I'm aware, is the REFspect part of it, which I like the way it's done, the red and the yellow card put together. So I say on the shirt,
it's a friendly emblem. It's a friendly, we don't want to just see red.
It's not respect, it's REFspect.
REFspect.
So what people have got to realise is when they look at these posters when they're walking around the street and say, oh, it is the FA badge and it's got respect. Yeah, you've got to give respect, but we're REFspect.
Yeah, and we were the forerunner for the FA Respect campaign, by the way, because we put a lot of barriers out there. We met up with the Football Foundation, the FA, and they took on board our REFspect campaign with Don't Cross the Line then. Now the question you're probably interested in is, where did REFspect come from?
Well, it is actually, That was what I was leading up to eventually,
Well, it came because Don't Cross the Line is all about good behaviour on touchlines, and that's what we're trying to emphasise, and that's what we're trying to instill into all the spectators who come to watch their children playing football and forget about the referee, the target, I say, in the middle. That referee is the target, because that referee will blow a whistle, and the whistle will wait for one side of the touchline, because the away supporters, and then the home supporters, when that foul or incident goes against them. So that referee makes that referee, male or female, the target.
Well, I can relate to that because I was that particular target on one Sunday lunchtime in that league in the park, because obviously I was a referee for so many years and I enjoyed it. But this particular day between the two teams, forget what age group it was, but anyway, refereeing the game, okay, we're all human, everyone makes mistakes. The whistle was blown for an incident. Obviously one side didn't like the incident that was given, the decision. Okay, game carried on. So at the end of the game, shook hands with both managers, thanks very much. Walked away, and as I was walking away off the pitch towards where my vehicle was, I glanced out the corner. Why I done it, I don't know, because I think I heard someone shout. I wasn't too sure. Heard something, looked, seen people running. So I ran, just instinct. I just ran. And just before I got to my vehicle, or got off the gas vehicle, I was hit. I was attacked from behind, which I think is a cowardly thing to do in the first place, from behind.
To be hit is a cowardly thing to do as well.
So, but to be hit at the back of the head, thank God it wasn't with a bar or anything like that. I was punched at the back of the head, and I eventually got home. I was obviously upset, and I didn't hit back because I wasn't in the position to retaliate. So I went home, calmed myself down, spoke to the police at the time, and they also reported it to the liaison officer at the time, from the county FA. He came to the house, took a report, and then once that report, I had to go to the county FA myself to see what the situation was about putting the report in about that match. And since then, I thought to myself, well, do I really want to do this? Do I really want to be getting physically attacked or abused of something I like doing? No, I don't. So when I first heard about you talking about this campaign, I thought, well, wait there, I want to get involved, because it's something I believe in, and it should happen. But as you say, 18 years down the line, I certainly didn't think it would have gone. I honestly thought it would be maybe 5, 6 years, but not 18 years.
It's taken you by surprise as well, which it gives me, which is, do you know what, Paul, and I'm thankful that you're still here today to tell the story, because that could have been a lot different, because we've heard of stories right the way through the years, and we referees still being assaulted, referees still being attacked, referees being verbally abused on and off the field of play, still goes on. We want to prevent that. We want to bring grassroots football together, and this is a prime example of a referee who packed refereeing in and joined us in a campaign with Don't Cross the Line. And we just don't know how many referees we've kept in the game with Don't Cross the Line and the REFspect campaign. The REFspect campaign is there to attract more referees to the game in grassroots football and keep our referees within the game. Okay, we can't battle COVID at the moment, COVID-19. Unfortunately, that's with us to stay. But we can tackle the virus that is on the touchlines, and we can tackle those parents, those irate parents and irate coaches and managers. They're not out of it, because there's plenty of them out there who let these things go on. So we tackle that to try and prevent our referees getting verbally abused, being shown aggressive behaviour, racist comments and bullying on our touchlines. So REFspect is so important. This is why we, as a Don't Cross the Line, I came up with the idea, but I protected REFspect, to be honest, Paul, because that many people out there would like to take your idea. And I wanted something to be part, to attach to Don't Cross the Line, not just like our volunteers, not just like referees who are thanking us and staying in the game because of the work that we're doing on the touchlines.
We want to sort of like linked.
We're not police. We don't go out there. We don't go out threatening. We go out there and talk to mums and dads, grandparents, aunties, uncles, brothers, sisters, all about REFspect on the field of play and off the field of play. And we need to REFspect, excuse me, our referees. And as I say, they start from 14 years of age. But what a word we've got, Paul. And we've got these cards that we brought out. You love these.
Oh yeah.
You love these. And what we do, our volunteers go out and they monitor touchline behaviour. They don't go up and approach anyone. What they'll do is see there, and if that referee is getting verbally abused, that referee is getting, well, tortured basically on the field of play, they will note that down. But if that referee is getting encouragement, which every referee should, because at the end of the day, no referee.
It's all voluntary. It's all about for voluntary. They're all out on Sunday mornings or Saturday mornings, whatever. They're all doing it because they want to do it, because they love doing it.
That's it. So it's helped us, that REFspect word, when we put that out and when we go on the touchlines and we do our podcast and our interviews, bring people together. Do you know what? I'll just tell you the story, because these microphones, when we go over the microphones, do actually work. They're better than the barriers, because what happens if they see me or our volunteers with a microphone, those irate parents and coaches and mums and dads and whoever they are, look at the microphone and they go, stum. I'm not saying anything. It's a deterrent. The microphone, so little Mike, that's who we call him, little Mike, who we take out each weekend and try and get the stories about poor touchline behaviour, works a treat, and so do the cards, because people are taking notice. What we do, we give these green cards, excuse me, green cards out, week in, week out. Well, we don't really, not week in, week out, because if we find teams who are not respecting the referee or REFspecting the referee, they won't get these. And what do points make?
Prizes.
Prizes, there we go. So points make prizes. So what we do, tally them up. You only need one of these cards to be given by our volunteers. You keep that, put it in your kit bag, and then present it towards the end of the season, either to your committee or to ourselves, to our volunteers. And we will note that down, because our volunteer will have that in a notepad, and they'll note down the team that has been REFspected to the referee. Because it's good behaviour on and off the fields of play. And there's a lot of encouragement teams out there as well. So that's what we're looking for, good behaviour. We want an outstanding behaviour. This is what it is, and it's all about fair play and encouragement. That's what these cards are about. REFspect cards, green cards. You'll go into an automatic draw at the end of the year. But the teams with the most cards and the teams with the most nominations, which our website...
So that's going towards like an awards evening then or something like that?
Yes, which we've done 2 awards evenings. You know about the first one, we told you about that. Unfortunately, you missed them, Paul, where we had Don't Cross the Line. He was there, he was our guest appearance, and he'd done fantastically well. And it was held at Everton Football Club. Now, Everton Football Club told us, and I probably shouldn't be saying this, but the lad's left now, retired. Their social club told us, I run a grassroots now, don't worry about it, it owed so many, I think it was 300, something like that, 350.
You won't fill it.
You won't fill this. We had the Everton car park absolutely jam-packed, heaving. They were worried about health and safety. But we did warn them. We've got a massive following when it comes to these awards. And it's not only local awards, these are national awards. It's a national REFspect campaign. And that's why the whole country get involved in these. And we ask all committees, all leagues to get involved and promote their teams with good behaviour. Yeah. And we ask businesses as well, if they can put up prizes towards these teams. Now, why not reward good behaviour, Paul? Yeah. This is what we're doing, rewarding good behaviour towards the referees. Because as we emphasise, and we keep emphasising, the referees, no matter what age they are, become the targets in grassroots football.
And it's not just grassroots football, it's grassroots in general.
Yes, there's all sports there, yeah. But the REFspect cards were brought in for that. Yeah. And the work and the treat, we're doing great. And can I also emphasise that we've done a campaign with Grassroots Football UK. Right, okay. And there was a programme where Paul himself come up, and he's a brilliant, he's partners with us, we get involved in this. And when Paul got involved, this campaign went through the roof. And what we done, we advertised, it was Paul's idea, fantastic, and we'll carry on doing this. We asked for a ref selfie, and it worked a treat. Paul got bombarded, everyone, we put that out, and it was a ref selfie with the teams, and just to send it in to Grassroots Football UK, and it worked a treat as part of the REFspect campaign, because we want people to treat a referee, as you said earlier on, as a human being. Yeah. Make mistakes, they're only human. Yeah. We need to encourage them. Like you encourage the kids, we don't want to see the kids put down either, because REFspect is all about the kids as well. And people say to me, or I've had one or two saying, why do you protect these referees? Yes, we protect the referees because those referees are the targets. Mm. That's why, don't cross the line.
Well, speaking of referees, we're going like the top referees now, the Premier League referees. Now, how do they react to you doing something?
Fantastically well. We had honestly, when we started that several years ago, it was Keith Hackett who was in charge of the PGMOL. Now, if anyone doesn't know, not too sure what the PGMOL means, it's the Premier Game Match Officials Limited. Now, they support us to the hilt. Keith Hackett started it, they've carried on over the years. We've got Mike Riley in charge. Yeah. The referees are fantastic, they're doing well with us. And we have the PFA who are supporting our campaign as well with the t-shirts. Now, we put these t-shirts out once a year, it should be every week, we know that. Yeah, REFspect shouldn't just be once a year, an annual. But this is an annual awareness campaign, which brings up all the governing bodies. Now, we're proud to say that the PGMOL, the referees, wear our t-shirts around the Premier League grounds, one weekend that we choose, they check it out, and they wear them during the warm-ups. I wish they could wear them during the game, or one referee, one set of referees. You know, that's an appeal. Let's hope that can happen one day. Someone with the power, why not?
Maybe a live game.
Why not? Because what a message this gives for our referees, the senior referees, the professional referees, down to grassroots. Because many of those junior referees want to make it to the very top. And that's why we're around with Don't Cross the Line, with our REFspect campaign, to help those referees and encourage them through the ranks. As you know yourself, I'm a mentor for Liverpool County FA with the referees as well. Yeah. And I help out as much as I possibly can, giving them advice, asking what has happened on the touchlines. And since I've been a mentor with Liverpool County FA on the touchlines, I talk to the referees, I talk to the children, I talk to the adults, and I talk to the committee members. And that, in a sense, is what REFspect is all about. All about is bringing people together. And it works, folks. That is what the message is in REFspect. Anything else, Paul?
Well, I think it was when I spotted on the social media side the photograph or the video side of it, from, I think it was one of the parks where the hubs now. I think it was the one in Kirkdale.
Before they had the hubs. Yeah, and I think that was 2014, but Sky Sports, I think,
Sky Sports
filmed us, and they were honestly, they were fantastic. They've done it several times over the years, obviously because they have to change the news. We're expecting them to follow us again soon. And on that particular video, it gives you a message about REFspect. It gives you that, wow, what a campaign, and the support that we had, Paul.
Especially when the kids are actually holding the boards up.
They were loving it.
Yeah.
The kids love it, and they wanted to get involved with the stickers. And even Peter Stevenson there from Sky Sports in his presentation, fantastic, he wore a sticker for us. And do you know what he said to me? It was that busy, there must have been 5,000 people there during that event in the Walton Caredale. This before they built the hubs, this is the grass pitches. And they said to me, they were trying to get, if Formula One was on as well, and they went to me live, and it's the first time I've ever done a live broadcast with Sky Sports. It was brilliant, and everything went honky-dory, and why shouldn't it? Because this campaign should be recognised the way it was. Everyone throughout the nation should be on board with REFspect. It's what it's all about, and they wanted to bring a crane down to film the work that we were doing. They couldn't believe it, and the amount of feedback that we got, you know, we thank Sky Sports for putting us in the picture. Since then, we've gone through the roof, Paul. We've got leagues wanting to get involved with us, volunteers coming on board with us, and obviously we're getting involved in the inclusion side of things as well, and we'll talk to our viewers probably
another show.
But this is all about REFspect, what we're talking about, and that to me is the be all and end all of REFspect. But it's not the end all, because we're going to continue the work that we're doing from the touchlines, from the studio, from grassroots football, to promote everything we do, to make sure that those referees are kept within the game, and the older referees, shouldn't say that, the experienced referees stay within the game, and even the kids. It's what it's all about. And those kids who referee are only developing their skills as well. We want to encourage them to develop, and we're seeing through the REFspect campaign young referees with smiles on their faces when they see us on the touchlines. And one more thing, people ask me, what happens when you go onto the touchlines? Well, people recognise us now, don't they? Paul, you know it. We are the CCTV of grassroots football. When we're there, nothing happens. When we walk away, all hell can break loose.
Phone calls galore afterwards.
Yes.
Why were you there? Did you see this?
Did you see that incident? Now we can't be, we're not octopuses, we can't be everywhere at once. It's bound to happen, and we're not saying that we're ending it. We're there to still continue our work. We're there with our volunteers, we're there with our supporters, we're there with our committees, the teams, everyone. There's more and more people getting on board. And with Grassroots Football UK, Paul Curtin, they're a magic source for us as well. What a partnership we're going to end up with them. And we're promoting REFspect as we start now.
But is he going to have the local fish and chip shop?
No, we won't go into
Sorry,
that.
Paul, I just had to get that in.
That was the photograph that Paul took of me when I didn't expect it, and put it out all over social media. And I bet you can't pound to a penny, he's still got that, so I've got to beware. But Paul won't put it out because he knows I'm holding a really cracking photograph of himself. And I'll just wait for the press that button, so Paul, don't use that fish and chip one again.
Well, I think I had a couple of little questions, but basically you've covered more or less what I wanted to say, Mal.
I think we've gone through all about. You wanted to really get. It was your idea, Paul, to get this together, to get a message across to our listeners, to our viewers, and to KCC Live 99.8 FM, who we partnered with, and we're going to be doing a Tuesday show, and we're going to cover grassroots football in general and a lot about REFspect. And they've informed us already, since we've done one show with them, or a couple of shows.
Yeah, we've had a couple of people inquiring or something.
And reporting incidents that's happening. Well, that's fantastic. We want the same here as well. Now at don'ttextheline.com. Add me as a friend on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, all the social network sites. Even get in touch with us on, I think you can download the app.
You can download the app on the radio station and leave a message. Leave a message on there.
And you can subscribe to our channel on YouTube,
which is free.
TXTL TV from the touchlines. So you can see the amount of work that we're putting in to Don't Cross the Line and our REFspect campaign. Well, Paul, do you know what? It's been an absolutely fantastic show. Thanks very much for bringing this idea up, because you said to me, we do this, it's all about grassroots. Isn't it about time that we've done something with Don't Cross the Line and REFspect to let everyone know who aren't aware of it, and also our friends down in Dublin, the FAI, who support Don't Cross the Line and our REFspect campaign every year, and we get glowing feedback off them. They carry it out, and they even have teams on Sky Sports supporting our campaign.
Yeah, which is good to see.
And we just want it to grow and grow and grow. But the message out there as well, we'd like more people to get involved. We'd like more government bodies to get involved. We'd like more sponsors from business. We'd like more Premier League clubs to get involved with us. It's all about REFspect. Tune into this, listen to about what it's about, because it won't end. We need to keep our referees within the game.
Well, we've updated the website now. It's currently getting updated.
It's currently getting up. It's working action,
yeah.
and that's going to really give you a real good feel about REFspect. But we just need to encourage more people to get involved and help us out with REFspect. If you're not involved already, simply get involved. marathonextraline.com. Do you know what? We'll welcome you on board with open arms. And if you have any incidents, simply get in touch with us, and we'll get in touch with your county FAs, and we'll make sure that those teams are monitored, because that's what we do.
Yeah.
We report incidents to the county FAs after we've reported it to the committees, because they deal with it first. So we're all working together, and teams working together get great rewards at the end of it. That is what it's all about. Paul, thank you very, very much for teaming up with us in the studio. We'll be back again tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. So for myself, Manley, and Paul Rudkin, we wish you a very good evening. Have a great night. Put your feet up, but please stay safe throughout COVID-19. Please stay safe.
Yeah.